So right now, one of the biggest stories trending in Nigeria is about Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, popularly called IPOB. The court has given him what they described as a final warning. Either he opens his defense or he loses his right to defend himself completely. Now, that's a very serious situation because this case has been going on for years and this moment seems like a turning point. Please, before we continue, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel because this story is developing fast and we'll be dropping updates as they come. Now, back to the gist. Nnamdi Kanu has been facing charges related to what the government called terrorism and incitement of violence. The federal government says he used his broadcasts and speeches to encourage actions that could destabilize the country. But his supporters say he's just fighting for the freedom and rights of his people in the southeast. So you see, this story is not just legal, it's deeply political, emotional, and sensitive. In the last court sitting, Justice James Omotosho made it clear that the patience of the court is running out. The judge said that Kanu has been given several opportunities to start presenting his defense, to bring witnesses, evidence, and to tell his side of the story. But he has refused. Instead, he has been saying that there's no valid charge against him at all. He even dismissed his lawyers and decided to represent himself. Now think about that. Representing yourself in such a big case with so much attention and consequence is a huge decision. Many people were surprised. Some say maybe he's trying to make a point to show he doesn't recognize the case or the law being used against him. Others believe he's just tired of how long the matter has dragged on since it's been almost a decade of legal back and forth. Guys, if you're following the gist so far, please don't forget to tap the like button. It helps us reach more people who care about stories like this. So, the judge told him directly, if you don't open your defense by the next date, the court will consider that you have forfeited your right to defend yourself. That means the court will move ahead to make judgment based only on what the prosecution has already presented. And you know what that means? It could end very badly for him if his side of the story is not heard. Now, the interesting part here is that his family and some rights groups have been crying out, saying that Kanu has not been given full access to his legal team. They claim that sometimes his lawyers are not allowed to see him properly or share documents freely. Groups like Huriwa, the Human Rights Writers Association, are warning that if this continues, it could violate his right to a fair hearing. And that's a serious concern, because even when someone is accused of a major offense, the law says they must be given a fair chance to defend themselves. So this final warning from the court is a double-edged sword. On one hand, the judge wants the case to move forward. On the other hand, human rights advocates are saying, wait, but don't rush it if he's not being given a fair chance. Now let's take a step back and really think about what this case means for Nigeria. Whether you support Nnamdi Kanu or not, this trial is a reflection of how justice works in the country. It's about the balance between national security and individual rights. Because if a person can lose the right to defend themselves, even in a sensitive case like this, then anyone could. By the way, if you've not liked this video yet, please do, and hit that subscribe button too. We're bringing you real, verified updates, not rumors. Now, one thing everyone keeps asking is, why is Nnamdi Kanu saying there's no valid charge against him? Well, according to his argument, the law under which he was charged, the Terrorism Prevention Act, was amended, and he believes that the version used against him no longer applies. He's saying, in short, you can't use a repealed law to try me. That's the basis of his stand. But the prosecution disagrees completely. They insist that the law still covers his actions and that his broadcasts and movements caused security challenges in some southeastern states. They say the charges are still valid and that he must answer to them. The court earlier rejected his application for a no-case submission. What that means is, his lawyers had earlier asked the judge to dismiss the case, saying the prosecution didn't prove anything. But the judge said no, that there's enough evidence for him to open his defense. That's how we got to the stage where he's being told to speak up or lose the chance. Now, this matter is no longer just a legal drama. It's also a national conversation, because many people see it as a test of how Nigeria handles controversial political figures. And of course, the Southeast is watching closely. In that region, emotions are strong, and anything concerning Kanu immediately stirs reactions, from protests to debates on social media. Let's be honest, this is not just about one man. It's about the larger question. How does the government respond to calls for regional self-determination? How far can citizens go in expressing that desire before it becomes a national security issue? These are not easy questions, and that's why this trial matters. If you're still watching, thank you. Please pause for a second and like this video. Also subscribe if you haven't, as because when the next court session happens, we'll break it down for you clearly and calmly. Just like this. Now, many observers, both in Nigeria and abroad, are watching this closely. They're saying that however the court handles this case will either boost or harm Nigeria's image in terms of justice. Because if it looks like the process is unfair or politically influenced, it could attract international criticism. But if it's done properly, transparently, and according to the law, then it strengthens the justice system. Another big issue is that Kanu supporters say he was brought back to Nigeria through what they call extraordinary rendition, basically meaning he was taken from another country without proper legal procedure. That part is still controversial. His lawyers have tried to use it to argue that his trial should not continue at all. But again, the court ruled that the trial can go ahead. So right now, everything comes down to this. Will he open his defense or not? The next few days will answer that. Now, let's think about it together. If you were in his shoes, would you go ahead and open your defense? Or would you stand firm and say, I don't recognize this case? Tell me in the comments below. I really want to know what you think, because this issue divides people. Some say he's being brave, standing up to a system he sees as unfair. Others say he's taking a big risk by not defending himself. Which side are you on? Please like this video right now if you're enjoying the analysis and you want more stories explained clearly like this. One thing that's certain is that the court won't wait forever. If it doesn't act, the judgment could come soon, and it could shape the conversation about justice and unity in Nigeria for a long time. And even beyond Kanu, this situation makes us ask deeper questions. How are other activists and citizens treated when they challenge authority? Do they get fair hearing? Do they get justice without bias? Those questions go beyond this one case. So, we'll keep our eyes on it. And as new updates come in, we'll break them down for you in simple, honest English, without bias, without drama. Just the truth. Please don't forget, before you go, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the follow-up when the court gives its next ruling.